What is going on, guys? I am True Racer and I am back. First off, I want to apologize. I will never go 3 weeks without giving you guys another video ever again. But due to the circumstances of this new place, as you can tell, it's not even done yet. I was busy. Secondly, in this video, we're going to go over my first race back in the simulator, which was in the Star Mazda at Mid-Ohio, which was a great race against Thomas Jordan and a few other guys. And after that, we're going to go into the new iRacing update with the dynamic track conditions and my opinions on that. But don't worry, guys, I think the race might end a little prematurely, but up to that point, it was a great battle. But now let's jump into the race, and I'll see you guys in a bit. This is going to be my first race in the new house. As you can see, I just built this wall a couple days ago. Made my man room smaller, unfortunately. But here we are, Star Mazda race. I had planned on getting about an hour worth of practice in before this race, but due to the fact that my pedals weren't working, I had to kind of bandangle some cables to get them to work again. That ate up about a half hour of my time. So I'm back now, and I had about 10 minutes of practice before this race and about 10 minutes of qualifying practice. Luckily, I'm still P5 here, but I am over a second and a half slower than the top guys. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in this race. Hopefully I can keep it together and bring home a podium, maybe? I don't know. We got Thomas Jordan in here, Whoosh Chaka Chaka, and Steven Larcomp, who is on pole. So apparently he's a fast guy now. Apparently. He is, he's definitely a good driver. And, oh, let's get this started. Oh, show is starting. I don't like how this Aaron guy is.
Well, damn, man. We made it through the wreck and then you ran me over anyway. Fuck.
You are blinking pretty.
People always think they have to win the race in the first corner. Christ's sake.
You are blinking pretty good there, Aaron.
I appreciate that, Yao, hollow, balloon, you non-driving piece of crap.
I don't want to lose these front guys here. That was a pretty bold move back there. Actually, come to think of it, this is my first race with the new dynamic weather too, so I have no idea what's going to happen, but we're going to race. Okay, you might be asking why I went for such a bold move so early on. Well, one, because I did have a run, and two, I wanted to get past that Aaron guy who was lagging really bad. And if you have a guy that's lagging, you always want to pass him on the inside, because the net code will always be on the bad side if you're on his outside. But you need these guys to start battling it out. Still having a little bit of trouble with that corner, but hopefully I'll get better as this race comes on. It's not a place for me to downshift at. I mean, I know this track pretty good, but I definitely need to fine-tune it. I am missing a lot of these apexes. Okay, these guys in front of me were a second faster than me in qualifying, but it seems they're not pulling away a second lap faster than me right now, so I am happy about that. But Thomas is definitely catching me. Me and Thomas have had some great battles in the past. And I think this one's fixing to be another good battle. Starting to get a hang of this corner. Just got to brake a little earlier for it. Experimental mistake there. Tried going into that corner without any brake. I know in previous seasons you used to be able to do that, but not this time. I guess I'll have to keep with a little brush brake. I lost at least a half second with that move too. Thomas is not catching me as fast as I thought he was going to be. Maybe the draft here, or the dirty air through the S sections really hurt him. It's good for me. Oh boy. Yep, it's on. Thomas is right on my ass. It is very hard to pass on this track here, so as long as I don't make a mistake, I should be okay, but it's definitely going to be a close battle. Thomas ran wide a little bit there. I think he's just going to try and pressure me here for a little bit for the next couple laps here. I don't think he's really going to go for too big of a pass. So with that, probably going to drive maybe a tenth or two slower, just to make sure I focus on getting good exit out, getting good exits out of my corners here. I don't think I can catch Stevie, and I don't think I have the pace for him. So right now, it's just stay focused and hit my marks and keep Thomas behind me. Alright, quick tip. If you do make a mistake, just go to the middle of the course after that, because it'll really make it hard for the person behind you to pass. That's what I did there. I think he's running a lot of downforce, because he really catches me, actually, in the S's, but he's not catching me too much in draft. He poked out a little bit there to kind of trying to unsettle me, but he was too far back. I wasn't afraid. Yeah, the later apex definitely works better for that last corner. Little mistake on that exit there, wasn't too bad. I don't think he'll have enough. He won't be able to get up here in time. Yeah, he's definitely better at that corner than me. I'm going to blame it on his arrow, but most likely it's my driving. I can see he's trying to set me up for a pass now, so I really got to focus on my exits, and not so much my entries, unless he's right beside me. I will admit, I am starting to get very hot. I got very lucky there. I made that mistake, but because I was on the outside, it led me to having the inside on that kink, and quite frankly, you cannot pass from that kink. So I'll take that luck. I only need to hold them off for 12 more laps here. That was a pretty bold defensive move. Alright, made that mistake. Gotta get a good exit out here. Alright, I think he's got some more pace on me, so I think I'm gonna have to go for something here. I hope he gives me the outside, to be honest. Good, I want the outside line. The one I've been driving all day. Got a good defensive move for him. Alright guys, stay focused. Just try and stick with him here. Half second behind him. To get close to him with this draft. We're going to need a little wiggle out of him.
Thank you.
I gotta start hitting that apex. I'll start taking it wider. I'm a little bit closer this lap. We do have traffic coming up there, which is good. I might have a shot here. I hope he gives me an outside line again. good defensive out of him. Come on, Apex. Alright, still about a foot off that Apex. Definitely a lot better there that time though. I don't think I'll have anything this lap. Definitely gonna try and pressure him into a mistake though. Try and hit my apex here. No. No!
Right.
No. No, I hit the wall. Well, that incident there is going to take me out of podium contention, but it was still pretty entertaining to watch me try and finish the race. So I'll let that keep playing as we kind of go over some of the new iRacing updates that are coming out. iRacing released big headline news that they're coming out with dynamic tracks, which is definitely a good step in a good direction. But there's a few things on it that I'm not too particularly happy about. Basically what it boils down to is I think there's three main things coming with this update. One is there's the heat maps, or different, the sun is going to affect it, as well as just general heat on different areas of the track, which I think is a good thing. There's going to be tire buildup, or laying rubber down, which can be a good thing in some areas or some instances, but it could affect the racing negatively in other instances, which we'll go into. And the marbles, the implementation of marbles, which quite frankly I can't stand, I think is really stupid, but we'll get into kind of some of those details as well here. First off, the heat maps, or I don't want to say heat maps, but adding heat to certain areas of the track, either with the sun or with just constant driving over that portion of the track. I think this is going to benefit the oval guys a lot more than the road guys. I think it'll actually increase the racecraft and race dynamic of the oval guys, because it's going to change the track more and it's going to create a bigger skill gap for the oval drivers. Whereas now, it's not much of a difference, although I'm not a very good oval guy. I know there's still guys who kick my ass, but I think that'll kind of create a little bit bigger of a skill gap, which should increase the racing on the oval side. But the road side, I think it does create a good dynamic that you'll have to kind of adjust to and learn to as the race progresses. But I don't think it'll matter too much unless it's like a longer race, like the F1 races or maybe the IndyCar races. But anything under a C, I don't think it'll affect it too much. A new thing that iRacing is coming out with this update is the implementation of tire buildup, which I think definitely helps out the oval guys. It definitely creates, again, a bigger skill gap and more of a dynamic racing to kind of figure out where you got to go, because normally they're racing 2 or 3 wide anyway, and it'll definitely create a bigger skill gap and increase the racing experience on the oval side. As far as the road side, I don't think it's the same. I think it's actually going to negatively affect the racing, having tire buildup, because it takes away from the off preferred line. And therefore, it's going to make it harder to pass, which is not a good thing when it comes to racing. I think it's not really going to matter much on the lower, split races, because a lot of the times they're not always driving the preferred line, and it's a lot of hit or miss. But when you're in the top split racing, where few mistakes are made, it's going to make the top split racing a lot more difficult and even harder to pass, which takes away from the racing, and it's not something I'm particularly looking forward to. But it does add to the dynamic of the racing. If you can kind of adjust the car to it, then perhaps it's going to be good. We'll see how it plans out. I'm not that excited about it, but it's definitely going to be pretty cool. A lot of people are saying it's more like real life, but it's not necessarily all awesome. But it's definitely pretty cool that iRacing is trying to go for the most realistic that they can. The last thing that I'm actually kind of annoyed about and really wish they do not implement is the implementation of the marbles from the tires. If you're not sure what marbles are actually the little tire clag or buildup that gets thrown off the tires and then off the racing line. And they call it marbles because it makes the unpreferred line very slippery, because it gets on the tires and decreases your grip immensely, which is not good. This is something I really wish they don't implement, because it's going to really affect the racing, at least on the road and the oval side. With adding, the tire buildup is okay. I can understand that, but then to throw the marbles on top of that, it's gonna make it almost very, very hard to pass if there's a decent amount of marbles out there. And it's gonna make it harder to pass on the outside, because outside there's marbles, and it's gonna be harder to pass on the inside because your braking is gonna be a lot less effective going into the corner. So it's definitely going to take away from the racing aspect of it. A lot of people are saying that it's more realistic, but it's actually one thing that tire companies and racing is trying to get rid of themselves. If they could make a tire that had no marbles, they would. But it's kind of one of those physics things that they cannot get away from. I don't know. I'm not a tire guy, but that's just how it is. And unfortunately, iRacing is gonna bring it on board. They even say in the video that they're coming out with that it will hurt the racing, or I don't know. I forget how he puts it. I'll check again. It's definitely gonna hinder the racing on the road side. Oval side, I think it's gonna hinder it as well, but it shouldn't be as much. But I definitely think if you get offline, instead of when you make a little mistake, it's going to be a bigger mistake on the oval, because it's just going to make you go right up into the wall, which is it does create a bigger skill gap, but you've got to kind of stay. It's the errors are going to be a lot worse now with the tire marbles, and it's not something I'm looking forward to. Another thing on the marbles is not so much on the racing side of it, but as far as the system side, your computer, I mean, it seems like it's going to take a lot of computer power, or processing power. Or I'm not a computer guy, but that having a lot of little balls all over the track seems like it's going to create a lot of, I don't know, it's going to need a lot of computing. I don't even know computer terms to process all that stuff, and hopefully it doesn't adversely affect frame rate and the quality of the actual gameplay in the sense of your computer. I hope not, but when you have 4 monitors, sometimes that's not going to be the best. Either way, I really like how iRacing is striving to create the most realistic racing experience. That's why I moved to iRacing. That's why I basically haven't gone anywhere since. So I'm definitely excited that they're trying to go to more realistic stuff, and I'm also really excited that they're bringing two great tracks coming to iRacing. The one is the Nürburgring. I'm incredibly excited for that one, for the big track, and 2 for the F1 circuit. That's one of the the best tracks to race on, in my opinion. And they're also just announced Le Mans, which is going to be pretty awesome. It's going to be they'll have the full Le Sarthe, hopefully, and I really hope they have the Bugatti circuit, which if you're unfamiliar, that's more or less, it's a MotoGP track that they use, which is basically turns 1, 2, 3, and then they turn around before they go to the big straights, and there's a track, and it's a whole nother track, come back around to the chicanes. I hope they bring that track out. That would be another great track. A lot of people are probably wondering when, but I think it's obvious when it'll come out. It'll probably come out season 2 or 3, whichever one is right before next year's 24 hours of Le Mans. And I guess I'm going to have to be doing that race, that 24-hour Le Mans race solo next year. I guess I'm going to make that announcement now. I don't know what the wife is going to think about it, but she'll support me either way. I know she will. But definitely excited about that coming up as well. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think about the new updates coming out. I'm definitely, I'm kind of excited about it, but I hope the tire buildup and the marbles don't affect the racing too much. But I'm definitely excited it's going into a more realistic fashion. But tell me what you think about it, guys. Also, I had a few other questions that I was trying to figure out. Is like the buildup, does that happen like each session has its own buildup, or does it build up throughout the week? And like at the end of the week, it's going to have the most rubber and the most marbles down. I was trying to do some poking. I wasn't really sure what that was. Another question I had: are they going to come out with the Bugatti circuit with Le Sarthe? I don't know. I watched that video and I couldn't find anything about that, and I hope they do, because it's a really good track. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, then you are definitely a true racer like myself. So make sure to hit the like button. And if this is your first time watching, then I would love to have you guys subscribe, because from now on, I'm going to bring you guys videos at least once a week. Well, once I get, I guess we'll kind of give a little update. Once I get the race room situated here, this isn't even going to stay there. This is going to go over there. I think I got a computer desk hanging there. I might hang my old shifter cart up there. And that there, I'm going to put a TV. That's why I put that outlet so high. But I got many things happening in here. I was just, basically, it's a work in progress. And this weekend we're actually doing the kitchen. As you can see, my lovely my tripod is my ladder with my Dunkin' Donuts, because it's the morning and I like Dunkin'. But yeah, so this is definitely, as you can see, it's definitely a work in progress. But once we get it, oh gosh, I'm trying to get it. Once we get it all situated, I'm probably going to be doing a lot more videos, guys. But until it's all situated, I'll want to give you guys at least a video a week. So definitely, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, because I'll appreciate it. And we're gonna be giving you guys some great karting. Well, that's not a kart. Sim racing videos, karting videos, and how-tos, and much more. But definitely, thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, guys, stay true and race on. And because I know you miss her just as much as you miss me, the lovely Mrs. Tracer.
Wait.
No, that was your booger napkin?
No, I was eating a bagel.
Yeah, bullshit. A booger napkin. Alright, guys, we will see you, I don't know when, but definitely weekly until this room is finished and some of the other stuff is done. So, yeah. Take care, guys.